more Republican than the average of CNN polls taken in 2012 of all Americans. So the respondents were more Republican than the general public, which suggests that this poll shows it was basically a draw as far as those who actually watched the debate were concerned. A slight edge, though, 46% for President Obama, 39% for Governor Romney. Anderson, some numbers to digest.
Yeah, let's digest that a little bit. Just on the first blush, what do you guys make of that?
Governor Romney won by a bigger margin in our poll after the first debate, but it's a win for the president. I think it's under 50%, but there's no question. There's no question there. People watching the debate scored on points for the president, and I believe the natural connection with that is that, again, this is largely, the numbers are moving largely because of intensity of the bases. The president will get a boost from this.
And more Republicans were watching this debate than Democrats. I think the big question we're all going to have coming out of this evening is, was this win for the president, if it's a win as our poll shows, is it enough to change the momentum of the race? And we don't really know the answer to that.
When will we know that? Days from now with more polls?
In the polls, yeah. Look, I think that I think what we can safely say tonight is the president did well enough to blunt Romney's momentum. And that was very important into a state like Ohio. I talked to one of the leading people out there in Ohio today. The president went into this tonight with a lead in Ohio, which is the critical state, and if he can blunt the momentum, that puts him in better position to win. I think it's going to be a horse race down to the end nationally, but that's an important advance for the president.
Well, I'm not sure that that's entirely what we saw. There's a difference between the president igniting his base and maybe picking up a little bit of momentum there and blunting Romney's momentum tonight. Romney, something fundamental changed in the first debate, and that was Mitt Romney was an acceptable Republican. He wasn't this scary guy Obama's been painting. All of a sudden, there's an alternative to Barack Obama. That alternative obtains tonight. That Mitt Romney is still out there. He was not damaged. I'm not sure he was slowed down at all. That doesn't mean Barack Obama, I think, scored a point.
But I think with women, look at social media. That binder full of women, 100,000 people now on Facebook saying that was a bad thing. He said that single moms are responsible for the gun violence. I think he hurt himself with single women, and that's important. I think he did stop the momentum for women.
All right, we're going to have more with our panel. We'll hear more from our group of undecided voters, what they thought were the best and the worst moments, plus more results from our scientific poll of debate watchers. Be right back.
The commitments I've made, I've kept. And those that I haven't been able to keep, it's not for lack of trying, and we're going to get it done in a second term. But you should pay attention to this campaign because Governor Romney's made some commitments as well. And I suspect he'll keep those too.
Let's go to Columbus, Ohio. That's the capital of a key battleground state. Erin Burnett is standing by. She watched this debate with a focus group of undecided voters. Erin, give us a little flavor of what they thought.
I have to say, Wolf, I love watching the focus groups. Everyone, you're all so intense. Everyone says that they've never watched a debate the way you do when you actually have to score every single moment. You just heard the flash poll results, everyone, and our focus group had a similar response, a victory for Obama over Romney, although a little bit interesting here, Wolf. 14 of our 35 focus group members said the president won. 6 said Mitt Romney won, but 15 of them said that neither one of them won. They said it was a draw. So that is a pretty interesting thing. And in terms of some of the ratings overall, trust for the president, his likability, some of those ratings improved post-debate from pre-debate here among our focus group members. And a lot of people, just like the flash poll, did think the president did better than they thought he would, more so than they thought Mitt Romney did better. Bottom line, though, Wolf, when it comes to votes, how many votes did each of the men pick up tonight if this group of undecided voters had to vote? Obama picked up 7 votes and Romney picked up 5 votes. So that's the bottom line. But in terms of a better vision for the country, I want to make sure I get this in here. 18 people here ended thinking Mitt Romney, 17 Barack Obama. So, Jenny, let me ask you, who did you think won this debate tonight?
I think it was close, but I think I would have to give a slight edge to Obama.
And why was that?
There were a few times I thought that he stayed very on point, talked about precisely what he had accomplished in his first term, whereas former Governor Romney was a little bit more general, kept throwing back, of course, to Massachusetts. And then, well, there were just different things, but I thought Obama was a little bit more precise on his most previous record.
Things.
Yeah.
And let me go over here to Andy, because you had also a kind of a feeling about what you got out of this debate, a little bit of frustration.
Yeah, it was a good debate and good exchange. I thought both candidates fought real hard, but it seemed like every question eventually kind of evolves back into their 4 or 5 go-to points that we've heard the entire campaign, and then it kind of deteriorates into, I'm going to tell you what the guy said or what he's not going to do or how he's going to hurt you rather than how I'm going to help you.
Yeah, and you know what, Wolf, I want to just emphasize that was something our focus group, and maybe you all here in Ohio are just so scarred from all the ads that you have to see and the negativity, but they didn't like the negativity. You start off saying, this is what I'm going to do. The scores were higher, and then when they said, but this is what the other guy did wrong, automatically a real plunge on the ratings here. So we'll have more in terms of the highs and lows soon. Anderson, back to you.
Aaron, thanks. It is interesting, John. People always say they don't like the negativity, but negative ads work.
People complain the whole campaign, I hate the negative ads, I hate the negative ads, I hate the negative ads. And you ask them as they leave the polling place, why did you vote for X? And they repeat Y's negative ads or X's negative ads back and forth. That's just the way the process works. But if you live, I've been traveling the last few weeks a lot. If you live in one of these 8 or 9 states, I mean, most of the country's watching this saying, what are they talking about? I'm not getting this campaign because it's only really playing out in 8 or 9 states, and it is crazy. I'm going to walk over because we're going to see both campaigns tonight say they did what they needed to do. The poll relatively close. The president wins in our poll, but not by the big margin. Governor Romney was scored as the winner in the first debate. So they say they won. The question is, and then you guys can talk about this, we will see what they really think in the next few days. By the time they debate next Monday night, that's the last debate, they will have the polls. They will have the polls in the states of what people think. We know coming into this debate, after the first debate, Governor Romney picked up in Nevada, Colorado, in Iowa, in Ohio, where Aaron was with that focus group, in both Virginia and North Carolina, and in Florida. This was very important momentum for Governor Romney because those are all states that President Obama won 4 years ago, but they are all states George W. Bush carried not only in 2004, he carried all but Iowa in 2000. So the Romney campaign believes these are states that have Republican DNA in recent presidential elections that are not big Democratic years like 2008. So they think their improved standing heading into these critical last 20 days is huge. And they don't think, in talking to Romney people after the debate tonight, that even if you score this one for the president, anything significant changed. So here's the question. Here's the question. Watch in these states in the next few weeks. Obviously, the candidates are going to contest all of them for now, but very soon, the gold states are our toss-up states. Very soon, we'll see, is Michigan really in play? Is Pennsylvania in play? Or are we going to fight it out in these 9 states? And as we fight it out in these 9 states, watch things like this, and this will change even before the debate next Monday. You take this down. Oh, here we go here. We bring this up. Here's one of the things we want to see. TV ad counts, right? Let's see this right now. This is what the campaigns are doing. This looks confusing, right? But let's just go here. This is the state of Ohio. It gets very confusing. Excuse me for switching sides. See all these blurbs? If it's the big dark blue, that's the Obama campaign. If it's the lighter blue, that's a pro-Obama super PAC. Dark red is Romney. Pink is that. Look at this. Republican PAC spending in Ohio. Romney campaign spending in Ohio. Democratic PAC spending in Ohio. Obama campaign has been spending very heavily, more heavily than anyone else in Ohio, trying to protect that lead. So, Anderson, we should watch how this plays out. They now have to make, with 20 days left, critical resource decisions. Where does our TV money go? Where does the president go? Where does Governor Romney go? Where does the vice president and Paul Ryan go? They will see this. They're doing their own focus groups tonight. They will see the polls over the next few days. By the time we are here next Monday night for the last debate, something in this map will change.
Man, I need a drink, and I don't even drink. Tom Foreman is standing by with another reality check on one of the big topics of the debate, immigration. New numbers in our post-debate poll. They just came in. We'll have that in just a moment.
Final presidential debate, live Monday night starting at 7 Eastern on CNN.
The greatest failure we've had with regards to gun violence in some respects is what is known as Fast and Furious, which was a program under this administration, and how it worked exactly, I think we don't know precisely, but where thousands of automatic and AK-47 type weapons were given to people that ultimately gave them to drug lords. They used those weapons against their own citizens and killed Americans with them.
We have more results coming in from our poll of registered voters who watched tonight's presidential debate. They say President Obama won the debate, but here's a closer look at their views. We asked, who did the debate make you more likely to vote for? Look at the results. 25% said President Obama, 25% said Governor Romney, 48% said neither. We also asked, who seemed to be a stronger leader? 49% said Governor Romney compared to 46% for President Obama. We asked, who was more likable? 47% said President Obama, 41% said Mitt Romney. And we also asked, who spent more time attacking his opponent? 49% said President Obama, 35% said Governor Romney. 44% of debate watchers, by the way, said President Obama seemed to care more about the audience members compared to 40% for Mitt Romney. 45% say Romney answered the questions more directly compared to 43% for President Obama. Remember, this is a scientific poll that reflects the views of people who actually watched the debate. Our sample indicates that 33% of those who tuned in tonight were Democratic, 33% were Republican. That sample is about 8 points more Republican than an average of CNN polls taken in 2012 of all Americans. So the respondents in this poll were more Republican than the general public. The numbers are coming in. Pretty much, if you take a look overall, Anderson, of all these numbers, pretty much a slight edge to the president. But I'd say the poll shows pretty much of a draw.
Well, also interesting to see when you look at will it actually change your vote, who makes you more likely to vote for, 25%, 25%. I guess the next question we have to figure out is on the economy, which is the #1 issue. Did one candidate come out ahead tonight?
Anderson, in the 2004 campaign when George Bush beat John Kerry, I think it's fair to say John Kerry beat George Bush in each of the 3 debates. That's what the public said. But it didn't change their voting behavior. So what you have to ask after this debate is, given the first debate, where you use a baseball analogy, Mitt Romney scored 5 runs in the first 3 innings. In this one, let's call it no runs for the president, or give him 1 run. He scored 1 run more than Romney. Mitt Romney is probably still winning among the electorate. I think what happened here is it didn't stop the Obama slide. He's just sliding maybe a little bit slower. Or maybe not at all yet, if it's really a draw, the way the voters seem to think it was a draw.
We had one poll tonight, and it's a scientific poll, but it does oversample for Republicans, and there are numerous other polls floating around out there, and all of them...
We're growing.
Yes, you're growing. All of them show that voters thought President Obama won tonight. And I think that what you're going to see is the Democratic base shoring up, the Democratic-leaning independents going home, and you're going to see Obama start to move the other direction. His numbers are going to start to go up.
I'm not sure about that. Forgive me, I'm a Red Sox fan. My team wasn't even in play. But the Yankees fans know the Tigers won tonight. The Yankees fans are not going to vote for the Tigers. But they're not going to vote for the Tigers. They're still going to root for the Yankees. So if the people are scoring the debate who won the debate, that's fine. Who you're going to vote for is a different question. And I do think there are fundamental... that Alex is right that the president had the baton in this race. And in the first debate, he allowed Mitt Romney to be his equal, to be a credible candidate for president. What the Romney campaign is most happy with tonight is they think he made a very successful case against the first-term record, and they don't think the president was able to make the extreme label.
We also have some more polling now. Let's just go to that, and then we can talk about it with Wolf.
Yeah, a little bit more to dissect, including issue #1, the economy. Our poll of registered voters, once again, people who actually watched tonight's debate say President Obama won. But when we dig deeper into the numbers, we're seeing Romney did score points with viewers tonight. Look at this. 58% of debate watchers say Romney would better handle the economy. 40% say President Obama would. That's issue #1. 49% say Romney would better handle health care compared to 46% for President Obama, 49-46. We also asked who would better handle the issue of taxes. 51% say Romney, 44% say President Obama. 59% say Romney would do a better job on the deficit. 36% say President Obama would do a better job on the deficit. Remember, this is a scientific poll. Once again, I want to repeat, it reflects the views only of people who actually watched this debate. Our sample indicates that 33% of those who tuned in tonight were Democratic, 33% were Republican. That sample is about 8 points more Republican than an average of CNN polls taken in 2012 of all Americans. So once again, the respondents in this poll were more Republican than the general public.
Bring in Candy Crowley in just a moment. John King, you were just talking about these numbers.
If American voters out there, not just people who watch the debate, who participate in our poll. If other Americans think that Governor Romney won on the question of who would best handle the economy, who would best handle health care, and who would best handle taxes, then if they don't change their mind between now and Election Day,